Taj. How you
Yeah,
doing, Taj?
good. Sorry, I sound bad. I'm kind
No,
of
you
sick.
fine. You fine. You fine. Go ahead, Taj. Address Rebel. Address what you want to address.
Dang, them conversations was getting long. I done lost my points that I was trying to
Yeah.
make. but but I am a single mother of one,
How old are you, man?
26,
Okay.
and I also been married. But let me just go off the question. So I definitely don't agree with that. I feel like it's kind of sad because I've been through a traumatic situation where it comes to my husband and how he stepped out on me, did all this type of stuff towards me, and I was a good wife. And, just seeing y'all laugh about how when that girl came on making points, and also how Vic, stated he got 5 kids and what, 2 baby mamas. Everybody, we all, as we grow, we're growing. So, everybody make mistakes, certain things we're learning from. So it's kind of sad to see so many men, think like this. Like it's sad. Like I just don't understand how you would say so a mother with 2 kids is not worthy of what, being a wife. Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So that's what you're saying. So a mother with 2 kids, she's not worthy of being looked at as a wife.
Are you asking
Pr-
Rebel? 'Cause I personally never said that.
Okay, cause I
Are you
jumped
making?
in kind of.
Are you
I'm
talking about
really
the
just
state?
going off the question of what y'all got at the top. Just saying, like,
Okay, so pretty much. So if she has 2 kids, she already had a chance to be a wife already, and she chose not to, or she chose the wrong guy.
well,
So why should a guy who
But just like how Vic said, y'all validated all his points. But when he came on and said, oh, how he made mistakes and how the white first lady he was with wasn't it, then the second one clearly wasn't it. So now he got a new woman that he's on, and y'all validated that. But it's the
did
same
he
for
say 3 women?
he did. He said
Okay,
that.
but Taj, he when I asked him, like, what how I just asked, like, stays on top, like, what would you say was the biggest factor or contributor to, like, you being in your situation? Like, when I asked him that, he said that he picked wrong. He said he got two,
Exactly. It's a lot
but
of women that pick wrong too.
okay, but you see the difference though is women don't say that they pick wrong. Women
A
do a
lot of
lot of
women do. A
women
lot of
do
women
women
do.
do a lot of deflecting and talk about how the father's not there. Just like how you came on here and said that you've been through some very traumatic stuff, and I'm very, you have my sympathy for the traumatic stuff that you've been through. But it's never that I just chose the wrong guy.
Yeah. Okay. But so it's just about. I
Real quick.
mean, go ahead.
So Vic said he had 2 kids by the first woman. He said the first woman was a mistake, and he said he had 3 kids by the second woman. So I think you're getting that mixed up.
I know. And then he said he's got a new lady that he's with now, supposedly.
I don't remember the specifics of what I he just said
Yeah.
in the comments that he has too. So I
I
don't.
know, but the whole point is he made mistakes. He didn't choose correctly, and he's able to go on and move on with somebody else with the baggage that he have. And also, you have a choice to choose on who you want to be with. If you don't want somebody with that many kids, don't mess with them. But it's very, very, very hurtful and sad to see men look at women like this. I like I said, I was married and I have a child by that person. And that person, like how you see women say, "Oh, women ain't shit."
Who
It's
filed for
men.
divorce?
I did. And before you say, because I heard you say to that other girl, "Oh, so you chose not to have a family." I did. Actually, before I filed for divorce, even though he stepped out on me, he publicly embarrassed me. He had women going on live with posting my child, making videos about me, so many different things that that I had went through with this man. And this man, literally, Me and my baby was sleeping on mattresses, and this man was laundering money over my head. It's so many men that need to take accountability for what they do. And I know for a fact I'm very worthy of another man coming into my life, even if I had 2 or 3 kids after. I'm not a woman that goes out here, shaking booty. And another thing is a lot of what we seen from TV, music videos, it kind of like, I think that's a big issue and why we always, men, women, arguing and having this, debate or, this tension between us and why women is perceived a certain way. I promise you, every woman is not out here like this, like that. But it may seem like that because that's what's in the forefront of what they have, what they show. But it's just really
So as far
sad that.
Can I ask her a question really quick, Rebel? So, you said that it's sad to see men look at women in this light, and it is sad to see men look at women in this light. Is it sad to see women look at men in the same light?
It is. It definitely is.
Okay, so you acknowledge that it goes both ways.
And
Okay,
that's
so
why I said,
I find it very interesting that I literally, when I was talking to Vic, I literally said all the women that have came on here that I've talked to tonight, I've had to ask them if it happens the other way, and women still continue to come on here and not acknowledge that this goes both ways. Like, in a perfect world, a man that has no intentions for a woman with kids would not be dealing with her at all. In a perfect world, a woman that has no intentions for a man with kids would not be dealing with him at all. So we act as if we live in this perfect world. We act as if we could bring up these hypothetical situations and just make it definitive for like everyone, but it's not like that. It hasn't ever been like that, and it's not going to be like that. We need to start accepting reality. We need to start accepting reality for what it is. Like, not because, and again, I don't agree with him saying that they're for recreational use, but at the end of the day, as a young man, I know that what he's saying, a lot of men that are childless, they do look at women in that light. In the same way, there's a lot of women that are childless that look at men that have children in that same light. So it is not right at all. I am not saying that it is right. It's not right. It's not right at all. But in all reality, it is what it is. People are going to continue to deal with people that have children that they have no intentions of being with long term. Women are going to continue to be with men that they have no intentions of being with long term. It's just the world that we live in.
well, yeah, but I mean, it go both ways. I
And
mean, but
I'm personally, hey Warner, what's up, Warner? Warner, you need to get in this conversation.
hey, let Warner
No,
hop in the box.
I will. And but I'm just I want to, before you speak really quick, Rebel. I'm not saying, I've never said personally that you're not worthy. But again, in all reality, in this world that we live in, and you said you're a divorcee. Like, again, I'm sorry for everything that you went through. But in all reality, again, this is just how men are going to be looking at women, and this is how women are going to be looking at men, and they're going to continue to do the same dirty stuff that we are saying is not good. But let's just, ladies, when you come up here, don't just say that it's bad that men are looking at women this way. Say it's bad that men and women are looking at each other this way. Acknowledge it from the other
okay,
side.
well, acknowledge
That's the whole
when.
accountability thing I'm talking about.
But
It's
when
not.
Vic was on here, it was a different energy though. That's the whole point
He
of it.
took
It's a very.
accountability.
Oh,
Well,
it's still we just said the same thing. Women make mistakes. If they chose to choose the wrong person, okay, they can't, now they got 2 kids. This is the same for Vic. It's the same thing. But instead you want to say, oh, the women, oh, she got 2 kids, I'm not gonna mess with her. It doesn't, it's not adding up.
what? Okay, if you listen to what Vic said, and this is just in life in general, not just pertaining to what we're talking about. The only way you can grow and evolve is by taking accountability, being able to look in the mirror and take accountability for the wrong, accept it, and work on bettering yourself from there. Vic, you talking about Vic? Vic is the same person that said that when he was a single father of 2 boys, he knew the light that women were looking at him in, and he took 100% accountability. He said, "I chose wrong." He wasn't talking. He didn't come up here and say that, oh, she was being this, that, and the third. No, he said that I chose wrong. And he said that I accepted that I chose wrong, and I was moving accordingly. I was moving accordingly after that, and now I'm in a situation that I'm in. He didn't come up here and say that, well, she was doing this, that, and the third. No, if you don't take accountability, you're not even trying to better yourself. And but again, he knew the reality of what his situation was. I am a single father of two. There's gonna be a high chance that the men that or the women that do want to deal with me aren't gonna really want to be in serious committed relationships with me, or they're gonna try to play me. And he accepted that for what it is because of the situation, because of the predicament that he put himself in. And he took
Okay, we get
accountability for it.
that. We get that though, but it still doesn't make it right for someone to literally write this and say that women are only made for recreational uses
I
only.
agree. I agree
Well, I
with you on
mean,
that.
okay. Oh, and another thing, um, somebody I don't know who said it, but mentioned like, oh, if she got kids, if the man choose to not take care of her kids, that's on them. Like Vic was saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and y'all was there for it, clapping like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That is crazy. Why would I ever want to be with a man who's not gonna take care of my kid?
How are you gonna? Okay, let me ask you this: How are you gonna know that a man? How are you gonna know that a man is even gonna want to take care of your kids or even have a serious long term committed relationship with you?
Well, from the jump, you're gonna know if I have a kid, and that's you gonna make your decision right then and there.
Okay, but okay, you can say that, but not because you're gonna tell him that you have a kid doesn't mean he's gonna be honest about his intentions with you, right?
Right?
Because both, again, see how listen to what I'm not about to say. Just men, both men and women get lied to all the time because we don't live in a perfect world. People there's a probability, there's a likelihood that people are going to lie to you and string you along and get you emotionally invested and do all this, that, and the third. And then when it's time to like take whatever responsibility, they're gonna hit the peace sign on you.
You're right. And that's
So
why I feel like a lot of times we go through those hard situations that we go through for that, to learn to find that new person. So, I mean, and if you were, and this for anybody, a woman or a man, if you were just all about yourself and growing, you're gonna figure out what red flags to look at. You gonna see that okay, this person playing games because it's gonna be clear. Signs gonna show.
So you're
But
basically you're basically talking about like vetting.
like you say that again.
You're basically like speaking on like vetting people, like vetting a man or vetting a woman. Okay, so do you think that women that have multiple children by multiple men, do you even think that they cared to vet when they do you think that they cared to vet at all?
Yeah, if I mean you can't say that people are different. I mean people are different. I can see okay, you may have this image of the woman that has multiple baby daddies. She not really working on herself. She out here going to clubs every weekend. Okay, but every woman is not like that. Just because she have more than one kid, it doesn't mean she's like that.
Yes, not all single moms are like that, but there are enough to point it out and to point out their activities and behaviors.
My thing though is Taj is that yeah, all of them might not be it. Yeah, nothing is absolute. So and not all men are the same. Not all women are the same. But again, like I'm assuming that you actually valued. We're the same age. I'm assuming you actually not actually did. I'm assuming you actually do value relationship. I'm assuming you actually do value family. Like you said, like you have your child is by your ex husband. Like I don't think a man or woman that is out here just I don't think a man that's out here impregnating multiple women without having any intentions of getting engaged to them or being married to them, having any sort of long term relationship with them. I don't think he values relationship or family. I don't think any woman that's out here giving up her womb to multiple men that she has no long term commitment from. She's never been engaged a day in her life. She's never been married a day in her life. I don't think at least during that time of her life, she did not value relationships and family. And that's cool. That's cool that she can be this evolved, That's cool that she can be this evolved person. Her change, her thinking could be different now, but that's not going to stop men from looking at her a certain way, and that's not going to stop women from looking at that specific man a certain way.
But it doesn't mean that a certain man won't look at her in a higher light or
True,
see
true,
her growth.
true. But can we agree that um those like that it's going to be harder now. Like it's going to be like the chances out of 10 men, how many of those 10 men are going to be like how many of those 10 men are going to look at her in that light? If you had to guess,
I mean, yeah, it'll be harder.
like one, two tops. You might not even know because
Not
you're not
really,
a man. But
honestly.
you said what?
I said not really, honestly,
How
cause
many would
you
you?
because it just depends on I don't know, like of who she is. Like
Okay. Do you think? Okay, let me ask you this. Before you had a child, and I don't know how long you were in a relationship with your ex-husband, but were you interested in dating? Were you did at any point in time in your life did you ever have any interest in dating men with children?
no.
Why not?
Well, for one, I was really young. I got married really young, and that was, when I first started life is when was in when I first, became a real adult is when I was in a relationship. So, um, before that, I wasn't really. Of course, I wasn't. I'm young. I'm not looking for no man with kids. I don't. I
So
didn't have kids.
So do you think most people that are childless, that are single and childless, do you think that they want to like I'm just talking about most because obviously there are some people, there's people that are childless and they get into relationships with people that have children. But if we were to quiz everyone in the world, all the single childless people in the world on what their preference would be between choosing a man or woman that did or did not have children, what do you honestly think that those like most of the single childless people would choose? Do you think that they would choose the person that has children? Do you think they would choose someone that doesn't have
No,
children?
they would choose someone without children. Yes, because they may want to start their family with the first, that person, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So with that being said, then that means if most of them are going to really want to be in serious committed relationships with people that don't have children, that means those men and women that do have children, they're kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage.
No,
Okay. I
nope,
mean, but
not at all.
when I say disadvantage, I mean they have a smaller pool of people that are gonna like really take them seriously.
Not really. It's people out here that will marry a person with kids.
Yes.
My I mean, my mom had two kids, and my stepdad came into my life when I was one. I mean, he was there my whole life. I mean, it's people out here that will go for people with kids. I mean, it doesn't make nobody less. We all grown. We
No, Taj,
all
Taj, I'm not saying that there's not people that aren't gonna go for people with kids. All I'm saying is you're telling me that they're not gonna have a smaller pool of people to choose from than the people that. So let me put it like this to you then. If we got Taj, we have Taj A and we have Taj B. They're both, as far as physical characteristics go, they're both the exact same. They they both have the same qualities. But Taj B has a child and Taj A does not have a child. Out of 10 men, how many of those men do you think are going to choose Taj? And all 10 of these men are childless. And again, these Taj A and Taj B are the exact same people. It's just that Taj B has a child. Out of 10 men, what do you think? And they have to pick between Taj A and Taj B. Which one do you? How do you think those numbers are going to turn?
okay. If it's coming from a person with, no kids, yes, they're gonna choose the Taj with no kids.
Now, how many of those 10 men are going to choose the Taj with no kids? Do you think?
Half, I guess. What, five? And the other five are choosing the Taj with kids. I mean, it's no it. it
Rebel, do you
doesn't
hear
make a
this?
The
difference.
Rebel,
cap is real. The
I'm telling
cap
you, it
ladies and
does
is
not
gentlemen,
make
over
a
ladies and
nine
gentlemen,
difference.
thousand.
she just told me that five would pick she just told me that five would pick the Taj with no kids, and five would pick the Taj with the other kids.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
All right,
Out of
Rebel,
those
you got it,
10
bro. You got
dudes,
it. You got it. You got it, Rebel.
no, no,
All right,
no. I got something. I got something.
I'm done.
If
All right.
those guys were 6'5" Chad millionaires, how many would pick the single mom, and how many would pick the woman with no kids?
You wait, say you said what? Somebody with money? Is that what you meant?
Yes, if they had money and they had good looks and status, how many would pick the single mom, and how many would pick the woman with no kids?
They would pick the single mom.
How many of
Get
them?
her the
Or
fuck up out of
What were
here.
the
Get,
divisions?
get, no, no, get her the fuck up out
I
of here.
don't. What is y'all? What point is
She
y'all
said the
making? I mean,
guys
I
with the
don't get
most
it.
options would pick the single moms.
What does that say? Well, that still doesn't go back to what you got at
Bro,
the top of this
she's just being
thing.
disingenuous
Wait,
at this
Taj,
point, bro.
How?
You said they're gonna pick the single moms.
Yeah, you saying the men with money? They're gonna pick the no the
Bro.
moms with no kids.
Okay,
That's
so
what I meant.
they're gonna
Yeah.
Oh,
pick the child. They're gonna pick the childless woman.
Yeah.
Okay, because
oh, I thought she said the single moms for a
I
because you
second.
probably
did say
did. I
single
just
moms.
didn't realize what I said.
Okay, okay, so let's try this then. How out of those 10
Whew.
men, how many of those men? What is it going to be the division amongst those men? How many of them are going to out of 10 men? How many of them are going to go for the childless woman, and how many of them are going to go for the woman that has
Okay,
kids?
what? So eight out of two.
You think so? You think 8 out of those 10 men will go for the woman that? So you're saying that like just in this hypothetical example, Rebel said, these are rich men that have status, so they have a lot of options. You actually think that you think 2 out of those 10 men are actually going to go for the single mother.
No, I said 8 out of those 10 men will go for the mother with no kid, the person with no kids.
So you're saying that 2 out of those 10 men will actually go for
Yes,
the.
yes, we already know this, but my whole point is, it doesn't. It really, you not
You
you trying
can't
to
make
down
this
a
shit up.
woman with kids? Why? How and why?
The market dictates the value.
Nobody's downing.
So
See,
when
Taj, nobody's downing anybody with kids, but why? Like, what you really think? You really think that someone that has a lot of options and that has money and that has resources, instead of having when they instead of choosing instead of choosing to just be with someone that doesn't have kids and being able to make their own family, you're telling me that even 2 out of those 10 men are going to actually choose to be with the single mother.
No,
So you're changing your answer.
I'm saying the higher percentage of men are gonna choose the woman with no kids. I've already said that.
Okay.
So I mean, what?
Okay.
I've already said that.
Rebel, what do you have anything you want to address? If not,
But my
Todd.
whole point of even coming on here was because it says that at the top. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and then you said, okay, you you know it's not right. I mean, so why do men still go along with that? You know, having this tension between men and women.
Why, like when you say why do men still go along with it, you mean like why do men still move like that out there?
Yeah, or think like that, or
This the same
or
way
belittle women like that. Like,
this the same way women think like that and belittle men like that. That's my answer.
okay, so answer why men have these kids and then don't even put no percent into that helping out,
If you were
and
here, if
then calling her bitter and
I don't know if you were here earlier, but I'm just speaking for myself. I specifically said that I do not support men being out here impregnating multiple women and just going about their. I don't support
okay,
men
but
not taking care
what
of kids.
Vic said with his little situation, he got two broken homes. It's it's a
He
different
never
energy.
said he had broken homes.
How is it not broken?
How can you just
How is
make
it
an
not broken?
how
It's
can you make an assumption that he has a broken
selective
home?
hearing.
How can you make an assumption that he has a broken home just because he's a single father?
I'm saying he created two broke. He didn't finish with both of the families that he started with. It broke at some point.
Yeah,
Not saying that maybe they got.
let's not use him in his situation to like get into the narrative. Let's just focus on like the topic. Like, so let's not focus on Vic. Like, what question do you want to ask?
I already said what I wanted to say, but I was bringing up the Vic thing because y'all energy was very different when he was making points. But when women come on here and say these certain things, It's different.
Say certain
I
That's
things
still
all.
like
haven't heard any accountability from you, so
certain,
What
but say certain
accountability for me? What
what,
do you mean?
but say certain things like what?
Certain things like how I just stated Vic's situation because when he said, "Oh, I got 5 kids and 2 baby mamas," y'all energy was like, "Oh, okay, we make mistakes," but then you talking about, "Oh, women, well, you should have known after the first kid, da 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 this," like it
Okay,
is different.
that was not the energy. And again,
It
if
was
you watch what he said, he took accountability. When you came on here, you didn't say that you chose the wrong man. You talked about the trauma that you went through. You didn't. Your trauma is valid, but you never like Rebel just said. You have not taken any accountability for you choosing the wrong man. He took accountability for him choosing the wrong woman and said, "I chose the wrong woman." And hey, I may be
clearly I knew I chose the wrong man. I,
okay,
I
but
got a divorce
you
and moved
never said it
on.
until just now. You never
No,
said it
how
until
I
just
did,
now.
it doesn't matter. I don't have to tell you in the beginning. I still took accountability in my
You
life.
wasn't ever
You
gonna say
don't,
it though. Were you ever gonna say
how?
it? Rebel, was she ever gonna say it?
come on, man. That's an obvious no.
Well, I mean, if you would have asked me,
No,
hey,
I
did you
shouldn't have
think
to
you?
ask you though.
Okay, I don't have to just say, oh yeah, I choose the wrong man. It's clearly clear that I chose the wrong man. I got
You were
out that
able
relationship and I got a divorce.
you were able to point out everything that he put you through though, right? Without nobody asking you that, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so why does so nobody has to ask you what he put you through, but somebody has to ask you to take accountability.
Because that's how I felt to lead because of whatever we was talking about with the other person that was on there. That's just what came out first. It doesn't mean that I didn't take accountability for that. It doesn't mean that I don't have to say that straight off the bat.
But you were able to say what he did to you off the
Yeah,
bat.
okay.
I
You don't
could
have you
have,
have to
yes,
say that.
definitely because it happened to me, but it doesn't mean that I didn't take accountability for owning up to I chose saying that I chose the wrong man. First of all, I was young, very
There you
young.
go, not taking accountability again.
How is
See,
that not taking
Taj,
accountability?
now
You're
now
saying I was young.
you're making excuses and you're having a rebuttal now. That's
I can
what's going
still
on.
say that I was young. I was 18 years old when I got married. I can still say that I was young. It doesn't mean that I'm not taking accountability for choosing the wrong man. Just like
You
we
were old enough
said,
to drive a car by yourself. You were old enough to vote. You were old enough to get cigarettes. You were old enough to buy a lottery ticket. You were old enough to do all these things. You're
okay,
old enough to go to jail.
I sure was, and that's why you make mistakes so that you learn from them.
But okay. Um, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So if I go outside tomorrow and I go commit a crime, even if I didn't know that it was a crime, I'm still going to suffer the consequences of committing the crime that I did. Correct?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, like you said, people make mistakes, but there's again, like I say, there's consequences to everything that we do, both positive and negative. So if we're all going, we are going to suffer the consequences of the life decisions that we make on a daily basis. It is what it is.
We have freedom of choice, but not freedom of consequences.
So again, nobody is saying that when a woman has a child or a man has a child like out of wedlock, or if a man has multiple children by multiple women, or if a woman has children by multiple men, that life is over for them. Nobody is saying that.
Okay.
But to sit here and try to say that it's not going to be different, that is not genuine. That is not correct. It is going to be
No, it's
significantly different.
definitely going to be different. It's definitely going to be harder. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I appreciate you, Taj. You have a good day.
Mhm. Yep. You
All
too.
right.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey,